Hi, I'm Steve Sherman. I have a little side-by-side comparison that I use in one-on-one workshops, and this is a really good explanation on minimal agitation and how I integrate PyroCat. What you see here, this side is all of these exposures were identical. What you see over here is a tray processed HC110 negative. The negative in the middle is tray processed with PyroCat HD. What you see over here is the same PyroCat HD but minimally agitated. And if you look closely, what you see here is you see less contrast in this negative. Now, I've tried to balance these highlight densities as close as I could. This particular negative is 1.08, this negative is 0.94, this negative is 0.93. So traditional wisdom would tell you that this negative, because it's slightly more contrasty, measurement-wise, highlight density-wise, would have a higher contrast to it. That's not the case at all. You can see that this negative, this print is a little flatter than the PyroCat negatives, which should tell you that the PyroCat developer is actually causing the straight line of the in the H&D curve to actually be slightly steeper than the HC110 version. So, once again, down here you're going to see these huge blow-ups of information, and we're going to zoom in and we're going to show you just what kind of sharpness and accutance you get from PyroCat. Okay, so what I've done now is I've taken the 3 enlargements. The enlargements have come off of this tiny little area where you see the claw and the lock cylinder from the bigger enlargement. And I've moved them down closer together. So this is the HC110 negative, this is the PyroCat tray process negative, and this is the PyroCat minimally agitated negative. And what you're going to immediately see is look at the sharpness in the letters here, HC110, as opposed to the sharpness here. So PyroCat all by itself is a much higher resolution developer than HC110 is. But to carry the step further into the minimal agitation end of things, right in here, in this area, you're going to see kind of muted gray tones here where you actually see the texture in the paint with a minimally agitated negative. And that's what people respond to when they see my work, is they want to see that kind of accutance and tactility in their work. And that's the difference between minimally agitated and tray processed PyroCat. So right away, obviously the PyroCat is a much superior developer over the HC110, but then when you add in the minimal agitation technique, it even takes on a higher accutance and a higher benefit to the photographer. So I just want to highlight these two. What you see here is the extreme close-up of the claw and the decal. This is the HC110 negative right here. This is the PyroCat that's minimally agitated. Look at the difference in the sharpness of the decal, the lettering within the decal, from PyroCat minimally agitated to HC110. That's striking right there. Many people have been very surprised by that. Draw your attention to now is, remember, the HC110 negative is slightly contrastier density-wise than the minimally agitated. But look at the contrast in this area of the HC110 negative compared to the contrast in this area right here. This is where minimal agitation really jumps out at you. When you see the texture that's created because of minimal agitation, you can actually feel the grit and the grain of the painted surface, as opposed to over here it's just kind of muted gray tones. So this is where people say the most dramatic things about minimal agitation is when they see texture and how it's accentuated with the minimally agitated process. It's very, very dramatic. So I want to tie this little short promo video together by explaining my process. I'm predominantly a silver printer, so the adjacency effects and the benefits to my silver process can only go so far before it gets too exaggerated. So what you're seeing here is my process designed for silver gelatin final process, but I have done some platinum palladium work where I've used semi-stand negatives, and I think you can all tell when you look at that platinum palladium print right in front of you that the tactility and the sharpness of that print is much higher, and that's a product of semi-stand or minimal agitation type of film processing. So to sum it up, an alternative process printer whether it be platinum, palladium, carbon, cyanotype, whatever, you can withstand much more adjacency effects than the silver printer can. That's the benefit to any analog printer. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this process, there's a standard video that you can see, or you can purchase a premium video. Go to www.powerofprocesstips.com, and there's a whole series of articles and blog postings each month, and you can also link right to the premium videos for sale.